Hello guys, I'm Neel Kothari. Today we are gonna learn basic opening principles. So today we are gonna learn about castling, getting the pieces out early, development, and controlling the center. These are the basic opening principles. So let's get right into it. So the first one, taking the center. What do you mean by taking the center? Taking the center means controlling these four center squares. These are called the central squares. These are really important squares to control because the closer your pieces are to the square, it is the better, right? I'll give you an example. Just look at this example. Which knight is better? The white one or the black one? Obviously, yes, the white one. Why? Because it is in the center. Now you will not say that okay, this piece is in the center, so this is better. So it's not like that. I'll give you the exact reason behind it. So just look at this knight. It controls 8 squares, 8 possible squares. It can go to 8 possible squares. See? It can go to all these squares. While this knight can only come to these 2 squares. So this knight controls 2 squares and this knight controls 8 squares. So obviously, this knight controls more squares, so it is more active, more powerful. Okay? I'll give you another example. Now compare these two bishops. Which of them is better? So obviously the white one again. Why? Because now this bishop controls all these squares while this bishop only controls these squares. So the black bishop controls only 8 squares while white bishop controls 15 squares. Hence this bishop is better. So now we learned why should you keep the pieces close to the center. So how do you start off in a game? So first you would start off by playing pawn move like e4 and d4 to get good amount of control on the center. Like e4 you play, you get to control the d5 square. If you play d4, you get to control the e5 square. If you play knight to f3, you get to control these two squares. If you play knight to c3, you get to control these two squares. If you play, imagine like this, if you play the bishop here, you get to control this square. So what you have to do is just get the pieces out close to the center and you have to make sure they control the center squares. Okay, so imagine you will not play your knight, okay, it's black's turn, just take for this. You will not play knight to h3. You might see, oh, I'm also getting the piece out. So it's not like that because it's controlling now the center squares. It's not controlling any of these squares. And now your knight is on the edge of the board. Now it can only control 4 squares, right? See, only these 4 squares. While here, the knight could control 8 squares, and it is also controlling the center squares. Sorry. Okay, now yeah. Now the next principle: open. So what exactly do you mean by developing your pieces? Developing your pieces means that getting your pieces out in such a way that it controls the center and it is on a good square. So in a chess game, imagine you have a army, like you are a kingdom, you have a kingdom and you are a king or queen of it, and your um, enemy wants to have a war with you. So what would you do? Would you send one soldier by one time and get them killed in a useless manner? No, right? You would send all your army together. So in the same way, you're the kingdom. You're the king. Sorry, of these kingdom. This is your kingdom only, right? This 64 squares is your kingdom. So this is your army. These all pieces, even these pawns are your army. Don't forget them. So you want to send them all by one. So same way in while placing an attack chess game for a chess game, you can't send only 1 2 pieces, and attack the king like this. It's not gonna be so easy. You have to get all the pieces well coordinated, and then only you can launch up a strong and good attack. So what would you do is get your pieces out, develop your pieces. And what I mean by that is get these minor pieces out. The bishops and knights are the minor pieces. You have to get them out first by controlling the center. So you'll not be like, let's first play knight to f3 or knight to c3. First you obviously play e4 or d4 and slowly but steadily develop your pieces. Now I'm just taking this game for an example. This has not been played anywhere. I'm just taking an example. Now see, now we play this move, like if just black has played knight to c6, we play d4. Now see, again we are controlling these center squares. Sorry. Okay, now imagine, just imagine this is not gonna happen in real. It goes bad. I'm just giving an example. You play this, you're developing. See, now you get the knight to f3. Now see, I'll tell you something. The most common squares for the knights are always c3, f3, f6, and c6. Maybe in some positions or some situations your knight has to sometimes come on e2 and not on f3. It depends, but 70% or like more times your knight will come on f3 and c3. So just imagine again if he does the same thing. Now we are getting our pieces out. You are controlling all those center squares which we need to. Imagine if he keeps doing the same thing. We get castle. We do all this. I'll explain what you mean by castling right now only, and then see we are just getting all these pieces. And now see who's better here. White. Yes. You can see this evolution bar. What is it showing? It's showing 8.5 plus for white. Why? Why so much advantage? He has not done anything. Like, yeah, he does not have any piece advantage, nothing. But see the position. Black king is in the not open, sorry, in the middle of the board. These pieces are sleeping like forever. Our pieces have come out so beautifully. We can launch up a well coordinated attack and haunt down this black king. So this is how you develop your pieces. Developing your pieces basically means getting them out in a systematic manner. Okay. Okay. Now let's move on the third point. Castling. So what is castling? I'll tell you what is castling. So in a game of chess, a king can only move to one square, right? Only one square. But in castling, king and rook maneuver. They have been given a special power to exchange places, not exchange, but sort of. And now if you tap on the king, you can go to here, here, here. But right now, if you tap on the king, you can go to two squares. What does it mean? Castling. This is castling, yeah. When the rook comes like over the king and the king goes over the rook, and they form a structure like this. This is called castling. So and short. This is short castling. This is also called king side castling, which is denoted by 0 0. Okay, whatever. Why? Because the king has castled to the king side, right? This is the king side. This is the king side, and this is the queen side. So this is the queen side. This is the king side. So the king is castling king side. That's why it's 0 0, and this is castling king side. Now I'll give you. Now see, you can't just castle on any in any position. There are some rules of castling which I'll be explaining. So the first rule of castling: whenever you're castling, all your squares should be empty. Like only your rook and king should be free. Like you can't have a knight. Like see, when you play this, yeah. Now in this position, you can't castle because the bishop is blocking. See, if you just press on the king, you can only come here. You can't castle. But as soon as bishop goes here, then you can castle. See, now the computer allows you to castle because nobody's in the way. Nothing should be in the way if you want to castle. The second rule, I'll just give you another example. Yes, over here. Let's go back. Yeah. Now, you can only castle when none of your opponent's pieces are controlling those squares. Now imagine if I want to castle, yeah, it's white to play, but I'm not being able to castle because everything is empty. I should be able to castle, but no, because this bishop is controlling the square, and I can't castle because if I castle, like if I were allowed to be castled, this bishop would have captured my king and I would be over. No, right? So I can't castle. The computer does not allow. But if I play a move like d4 and push the bishop back, then I can castle. Yes, because now nothing is blocking me. See, now the computer has enabled the castling option for me because now nobody is blocking me. Okay, now I can castle. This is second rule. And the third rule which I want to tell is, imagine we play d4 and the opponent plays bishop to b4 check, and now in a check also we can't castle. So first we have to block this check. Now again the bishop has to go behind, then we can castle. So like see again, if you in a check, it's not allowing to castle. So these are and now last rule for castling is, imagine you have moved this rook to wait, yeah. Yeah. Now if you move this rook here, imagine white plays like black plays like a3, just h6. Sorry, just imagine, and we play again rook to h1. We have moved our rook now. Just remember, we have moved our rook. And now if you want to castle, we can't castle. We can't castle there. We can't castle king side because we have moved our rook. That's why. Imagine if we were not to move our rook, we could have castled. After playing this, bishop going back, we could have castled, but now we can't because we have moved our rook. Now, second thing I want to show is queen side castling. And queen side castling, I'll just come back. Yeah. So imagine this is a normal game, and these things happen. Just showing you. Just castles king side, black castle king side right now. Imagine we play this takes, and now we play queen to e2, preparing for now. See now, like imagine black play something. Now we can castle both sides. See, if you see, we can come here and we can come here. So I showed you king side castle. Now let me show you queen side castle. The rules are the same. If you have a check, you can't castle, and if a piece is blocking, opponent piece is blocking your way, you can't castle, right? So the rules are same. Now in this, the only difference is when you move your rook also again, there's you can't castle again. Now imagine if you move your rook, and again if you come back again, and again now only you can castle king side. But now one more thing I want to specify is if you move your king also in between of a game, you cannot castle. Then you can't castle either ways. So you can only castle when none of your pieces are moved, none of your opponent's pieces are controlling those squares where you want to castle, and you're not in a check. So these are all the basic opening principles you need to know about. Thank you so much for watching this video till the end. Please subscribe, like and share. And comment what do you want to see in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.